In today's video, we're going to season a new Butcher Block countertop. So we're going to use some cutting board oil. We're going to basically oil it down. We'll do that a couple times, probably 3 coats, and that'll season this and get it ready for use. So a couple of things we want to do first. Let's go around and inspect it. Like we have some scratches and a little bit of fraying right over here. So we're just going to lightly sand that with a, this is just a sanding sponge. It's not very high grit. It's just enough to kind of knock down the little stringy parts. So you kind of go around. You just want to sand that off so it's nice and smooth. And then we're going to take a clean rag. This is just an old t-shirt. I'm just going to wipe it, the whole thing down, just to get all the dust and stuff off of it. So after I do that, we'll get to putting our first coat of oil on the Butcher Block. All right, so now it's sanded and wiped down. So we're going to start our oil. So I'm going to use a glove, but on the one hand, you don't have to. It just will save you from getting all greasy. Again, this is Howard cutting board oil. And then I have a Ziploc bag that I keep my saturated rag in. And this is just an old t-shirt that I cut up. And I use, I'll put back in that rag, and then from time to time as I oil it as needed, if it starts to get dry, then I'll use that same rag. So with the Howard cutting oil, you really just glob it on there. So I'm just gonna make a wide kind of X here, go around, we're gonna put that on there. So then I'm gonna take my rag, and then we just kind of slowly work it in. Now it is an oil, it's a mineral oil base, so you don't want to go too fast, you don't want to slop it around, you don't want to get it on the floor. You just kind of slowly, we're going to go through and we're going to rub it in. Nice. Now after you get kind of a section done, what I do then is I'm going to go around the edge here and make sure that we get the edges as well. I like to do that in sections, and so once I get this section done, go around the edge, all edges. Make sure you get the cross grain. You get a good light, so you can see any dry spots. You want to make sure you're covered 100%. Let's do this side. Now this is just an old t-shirt. You don't want to use any really absorbent sponges or anything like that, because that will suck up the oil, and you want as much oil on this as possible. And this oil, after we get it all done, let sand for 20 to 30 minutes, and then we'll put another coat on. So with that first coat, I'm going to finish off the rest of the countertop, and then we'll check in about 20-30 minutes. Right after the first coat, we let the countertop sit for about 20 minutes, and what that does is lets that oil soak in, and it kind of seals that wood to keep it wet. If this were to dry out, the wood would shrink, it'd start to crack. You wouldn't want to cut anything on here or use it for food prep or anything. So this is a natural, odorless, colorless, odorless, tasteless mineral oil that will seal this wood and make it usable. Now after we get all that on, we are going to also use this Butcher Block conditioner, also by Howard. And this conditioner has like a beeswax and stuff in it, and it just kind of seals it a little bit better and keeps the wood nice and wet. So we're just going to put another coat on. So got my glove, my trusty little rag here, and same basic process. Just going to kind of sprinkle it on here. And then we're going to go through in some tight circles here, and we're just going to wipe it down, making sure that we got everything covered. The better the light, the easier it is to see those dry spots. The multiple coats will allow the oil to sink in farther, and it will protect the wood longer. They recommend about two to three coats, depending on the size of the countertop. I'm gonna basically do it till I run out, and mainly because, why not? I can always get another bottle later. I'm gonna go around the edges here, making sure we get it all. You know, and as I'm doing this, I'm looking at different angles to make sure that we get all the different spots. We want to soak it in real nice. Now after I put on this coat, I'm probably going to do one more coat, and then I'm going to let it sit overnight, and so that tomorrow it'll be, all the oil will be completely soaked in, and we'll be ready for the conditioner. We have 4 coats of the cutting board oil on our countertop, so now we're ready to put on the Butcher Block conditioner. So it's the same basic process. I got a different rag. It's not overly saturated. It's just a t-shirt that I cut up and use, and it's the same basic process. We're gonna take our conditioner, just gonna spread it out. Be generous with it. Then we're just going to take our rag and we're going to start kind of working it in. I like to do this kind of little circles here, just working it into the oil, or working the oil and the conditioner into the wood. And then once we're done, we'll let this sit overnight, and then we'll just do a quick kind of wipe just in case there's any left over that didn't absorb in, and we'll be done. With the conditioner, you want it to let sit about 24 hours. You can see this is a little bit thicker. It's more of a conditioner, which is more of a lotion than the oil. The oil spreads real nice and easy, whereas this takes a little bit more effort. So I got about half of it, so now I'm just going to kind of run it down just to kind of even it out. Make sure I didn't miss any spots. Keep working it through, and then I'm going to go around this edge. Make sure we get our edges real good. So I got about half the countertop done. I'm going to do the other half. Okay, so we'll let it sit overnight, and we will check it out in the morning. So it's the next morning after applying the conditioner, and this countertop's looking really good. It has 4 coats of the oil on it, 1 coat of conditioner. You can see that shine. If you look back at the earlier video, you'll see how raw it looked, and this will keep your countertop great. And so now we'll just kind of let it set for a minute. I did run over a clean rag over it to pick up any extra conditioner that didn't get soaked in, and over the next month or so, just keep an eye on it, and if it starts to dry out at all, or you notice any dull spots, then we'll put some more conditioner on it. So I kept the bag, or kept the rag, I should say, in a bag, and that way I have it. So next time I need to put more conditioner on, I can just pick up this bag, use that rag again, and not waste any others. I'll just keep that in a cabinet, and anytime I need it, I'll grab it and give this thing a wipe down. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it turned out well. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please put them in the comments below and hit subscribe.